Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a Q&A. I really wanted to get a video up and I feel like a lot of my videos lately have been either kind of travel vlogs or styling videos, and I just felt like we hadn't caught up in a while, and I really just enjoy the back and forth of a Q&A with you guys. I'm gonna try and not make this intro really long, but I do want to address the fact that I obviously sound like a snotty mess, and that is because I am. Not feeling very well. I definitely overdid it last week. Yeah, should have just had a weekend in. That's why I sound like this. So I asked for some questions on Instagram stories. I might answer a few more on there if I don't get through them. I don't even actually know where to start, but this is more an opinion than a question, but I think you should go on Love Island next year. I definitely think I shouldn't. And also the media definitely hate YouTubers, so they would make me look like an asshole. It doesn't matter how nice I am, they would manage to make me look like an ass. So probably won't ever happen, unfortunately. I think it would be so funny, but I also think it would be like career suicide, so yeah, probably not. Who's your favourite YouTuber in real life? That's a really difficult one because there's such a big group of girls that I genuinely do love in real life, speak to every day, so it's really difficult to pick just one. I'm gonna say someone that's not in my immediate friendship group, so I literally can't offend anyone with this, but Mark Ferris is literally hysterical and I love him, so I'm gonna say him, because then I literally, none of my girls can get offended because we all love Mark. Yeah, Mark Ferris, he's fab, love him so much. It actually makes me smile thinking about how sweet he is. There's lots of questions over what I plan to do in the future and where I see myself in 5 to 8 years. I feel like I just kind of want to talk about this in the fact that I literally 5 years ago could not have predicted where I am now. And one of the best things that I feel like I've learned is to not really try and rigidly plan out my future. Like when I was younger, I used to be like, I want to be married by this age and do this by this age and do this, and life does not work out that way. And I actually feel like I have a much better time and really enjoy my life more when I'm not trying to do things, when I'm literally just working hard, really enjoying what I'm doing, and just kind of going with the flow. It's not just being lazy and going with the flow, it's working hard, just going with the flow, doing things when they feel right, and not really rigidly planning anything. Literally I have no plans to do anything anytime soon. I obviously have work stuff coming up and things like that, but even with things that I would like to do career-wise, I don't have a time limit on them or anything like that. It takes the pressure off a lot. I feel happier in what I'm doing if I don't kind of structure my life in that way. So I have goals, but there's no time limit on them, and I just do things as and when they feel right. So I really don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years, even if I'm doing what I'm doing now in 5 years, exactly the same. If I'm this level of happy in 5 years, I'm happy with that. So yeah, that's where I hope to be in 5 years, is just as happy as I am now. I feel like we're gonna back and forth a lot in this Q&A because I'm literally scrolling from the bottom up. But the next question is advice on boys and being confident in your own skin. I have no advice. I am actually horrendous at following any form of etiquette, or I don't know, my friends have to really kind of drum it into me, being don't do that, don't do that. I am a very honest person. I like being very upfront with people, which generally goes against the rules of social etiquette in general. But that is what makes me. So, and in terms of being confident in your own skin, I actually just stopped caring and started really focusing on my work and doing things that I was proud of. And I feel like that's when everything really started to change for me. So when I was proud of how I was doing work-wise and how I was doing in the gym and just how I was kind of structuring my life and just being really happy with parts of my life. When you focus on the good things and the things that you're really happy with, you focus kind of less on yourself. So I don't really focus on myself too much in terms of there was I think I saw a question earlier that was bits you don't like about your body and how to feel confident about that. I just don't think about it. I focus on the parts of my life that I enjoy, and I don't really focus on how I look so much, and I feel like when I started shifting my focus from like aesthetics, like I do obviously like I make myself presentable, but my whole day doesn't ride on that. Like I am happy to look like an absolute potato, and yeah, I just don't really focus on, you know, me being perfect aesthetically, and I've just focused on the bits of my life that I love and making sure that I build a life for myself that I'm really happy with. How is the love life? Are you enjoying dating? I haven't really spoken about this in a very long time. I think I spoke about it a lot towards this time kind of last year, I want to say. When I first kind of came out of my long-term relationship, I really kind of threw myself into dating, and that was mostly because I knew that if I put it off, I would become more nervous about it. So I kind of like started straight away just to like get out there, meet new people, kind of see what the whole shindig was about with like Tinder and Bumble, and I freaking hate it. And yeah, that was the kind of sentiment the more time went on, is I hate this, I really hate this. I am not good at like social etiquette. Like I said earlier, I'm the most honest person in the world, and I find it really hard to like not just be myself, but being my whole self. Like you guys know, I like to just say what I'm thinking, and so many of my friends, like they listen to my stories of like my dates and they're like, oh god, I can't believe you said that. And that is what I'm like. So I find the whole thing really, really difficult. Don't love it, to be honest. And in terms of like, there are a lot of questions on like, are you dating at the moment? How was the last date you went on? I'm just not gonna, I feel like when I have something to tell you, I will tell you. Like I think one day I would love to just like story time some of the things that have happened over the past year, because they are such great stories, but so inappropriate for YouTube. Not in that kind of way, but just in like the people. One day I would love to like, have a magazine column or write a book about all of the shiz that goes down, because that would be so fun. I'm just very, very happy being on my own, and if someone wants to like come into my life, then that's cool, but if not, then I'm also great here, right here. I am literally just wading through questions about dates, like, do you go on dates often? No. Related to that, someone has said, got a date next week, I need help with outfit ideas for a casual date. I am terrible at picking what to wear. It's actually one of my biggest stresses, I would say, across the board, and I don't know why. Because normally getting dressed for me, I like know what I like, and I'm really happy with most of the outfits that I throw on. I tend to just go with really like, I like kind of a more statement piece at the moment. And I think the thing that I struggle with, especially when you are meeting someone for the first time, especially if they don't know me in kind of like, they've never seen me in a work capacity, so they haven't seen my like out there outfits. I really struggle with like knowing what is appropriate to wear, because if I was going out with my friends, like my girly mates, or even just friends, I would literally be like, I'd just wear whatever I want, and I wouldn't care if it was like too dressy or this or that, as long as I felt good. But like on dates, I actually get very, very nervous. That being said, I feel like you can't really go wrong with like a pair of like mom jeans, and then like a little body underneath. And then with that, you could either wear like a pair of trainers, or if you wanted to kind of dress that up, you could wear a pair of nice flats, a nice pair of boots, and that's kind of like a nice like smart cash, but you look nice. And if you weren't like a blazer type person and you wanted to kind of go a bit more cash, you could do a leather jacket, and those tend to be my go-tos. That being said, I have done a video on like 7 date night outfits, so I will link that in the info box. Let me know if you would like me to do a summer one. I'm more than happy to put that together for you guys. I'm looking for wedding guest outfit ideas. You need my Instagram TV video, which I just did, which was trying on occasion dresses. I'll link it in the info box below. So many people asking me if I'm bored of being single yet. I've only been single for like 1.5 years, and I just feel like it's not that different. It's really not that different. Actually, it's so peaceful. I don't really know how you can get bored of it. I don't feel like it's a part of my life that is like severely lacking or anything like that. So no. Story time about winning Influencer of the Year. I will keep this short and sweet because you've all seen it on Insta stories. I have a whole highlight reel dedicated to it because this is me we're talking about milking that 5 minutes for 5 days plus. I was so nervous, so nervous. I felt sick the entire day. I couldn't even tell you why, because really it wasn't in my head. Like, I was like, I don't actually stand a chance. I don't even know why I'm nervous. Like, I'm up against Mrs. Hinch and Jamie Genevieve and Shane Dawson and Body Posy Panda, and they're all amazing and they all have such like huge reach, and I was just like, there's absolutely no way that this is actually a thing. Why am I even nervous? And it was just like all encompassing. I have not been that nervous in such a long time, and it took me a good couple of days to come back down from that. The day after, I actually felt like I'd been hit by a bus. I was shaking that badly, like I'd sent loads of my muscles into spasm. It's crazy. I'm still laughing at the photos. Oh, best photos. I'm gonna have them framed. I don't really know what else to say. I feel like you've seen so much of it. Although one person did ask at the beginning of the video, while I was looking down, we were all drumming on the table. That was why. But I feel like you've seen most of the highlights of it because there were so many cameras on that moment, so there's not really that much for me to talk about really. Goals for the second half of the year. Love you, Suze. Oh, thank you very much. Have a really great birthday. I've got a lot of things that I really want to do this year, so we're going all out. I think it's going to be a bit of a week-long ordeal, and I'm so excited. So that's what I'm probably looking forward to most in the second half of the year. I've ticked a lot of things off my list so far this year, which is actually amazing. So I kind of need to actually make some new goals really, because we've just had like a couple that have been majorly ticked off, and I'm so excited. Very excited to hopefully share them with you at some point. Yeah. Do you miss living in a house now you're in a flat? No, I actually love being in a flat. I feel so safe, so secure. I like having less space, which I feel like it's probably weird for most people. Most people want more space. I don't like having more space. Like, I like my rooms that I do have to be very open plan and spacious, but like the square footage, you don't need it. Open up about something in your life you've not acknowledged yet on your Instagram. Oh god, I don't even know. Very open with you guys. Like, the only things I'm not really open with is like relationships, because it's a two-part thing, and it's not, you know, it's yes, they are part of my life, but then I just don't feel like it's appropriate to talk about relationships on camera. Even like my family relationships, like that's another person, and they didn't sign up for this. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I really obsessively love people. Like, when I decide I like someone, I'm literally like, I just love them. And I get attached to people very easily. Got some real attachment issues going on. But yeah, when I love people, I will like do anything for them. Like, I obsessively love them, and I find it really hard to, oh my god, my hair is so naughty. I find it really difficult to when people leave as well. So yeah, that's why I'm quite reserved with letting people in and out of my life. I don't like it when people come in and out because it really fucks with me. So I like people to be in my life that are like really solid and reliable and want to stick around, because I want to obsessively love those people rather than people that dip, you know? I just love people really obsessively. I don't know, maybe I've talked about that before, I'm not really sure. It's so funny. Do you actively practice sass? Like, is there a queen routine? Next couple of questions are, in addition to Ariana Grande, what other music do you listen to? And favourite chill out music at the moment. I find it really hard to describe what kind of music I listen to. I'm not great with the terminology or anything like that. So what I will do is link my Spotify, have a look through and just see the kind of stuff I like. There are a lot of questions actually with people asking about my gym routine. I have done a couple of videos on this. I've done one kind of sit down chatty video where I talk through kind of like my reasoning behind exercise, how I got into it, and my rough like weekly routine and what I like to do. And then I've also got an IGTV video where I've shown, it's kind of like a little mini vlog of it and what I do and just like a quick example of what I might do on a daily basis. Have you got any more recent new tattoos? Have you got any new recent tattoos? I don't think so. Not since I vlogged last. No, I've barely been here. Are you a particularly political person? Yes, I am. I always feel a bit awkward talking about it. I don't know why. I don't really want to sway other people's opinions, and I know people are like, well, you're an influencer, like that's what you're there for, blah, blah, blah. Don't know whose voice that was. I don't know, I just feel a bit awkward talking about it. But that being said, I do have a party that I love and back over and over and over again. But yeah, I love voting. I back them all the time. I love it when they're on Question Time. Also love Question Time. That's something you didn't know about me, but I really love Question Time, although sometimes it just feels like a load of children shouting at each other. It's so ridiculous. Like, honestly, some politicians like actually make me want to bang my head into a brick wall. It's like, how do you get anywhere? How have you got that far in life? Honestly, just speak at a normal octave, indoor voices. Like, you should have learned that in nursery school, quite frankly. It's always the dudes as well, like they are actual children. Anyway, this is why I don't talk about politics. Let me know if that's something that interests you guys, but I always feel like I don't really want to like tell people how they should be voting, because it's all like totally down to you how you vote. But it is like, it's always something that I think about and that I would like to be more involved in future. I'm just not really sure how. Tell us about your next projects. I can't right now. The only thing I can really that you know about, well, you might not know about actually, one thing that will be coming up soon, I think, is the Blogosphere magazine cover, as part of winning Influencer of the Year. You get to be on the cover, which is like a freaking dream, and I'm so excited for that. So I'll bring you along for that. That's probably the only project I can really talk to you about right now. How to stay positive. This is something like this comes up throughout the questions in various capacities, but I would say my number one thing in like staying positive, and I am generally a very positive person, is that I'm always really, really grateful for what I have. Like, I don't often think about the things that I don't have. Like, when that question came up, it was like, what are you missing from your life? Like, I don't actually really know, apart from like that one pair of shoes that I want, and that's because they're like at the forefront of my mind right now, because I'm probably going to buy them. But I don't think about the things that I don't have very often. I just don't. I'm a glass half, well, I'm a glass refill, the glass is refillable, but I'm generally a glass is like half full kind of girl. Like, I just don't, I always focus on like the positive things in my life and not what I don't have, or what someone else is doing, or what someone else has that I don't, because like, we're all great in our own way. I'm so grateful for the life that I have and the way things have panned out in my life. I'm so very grateful for it. I'm really grateful for my physical health, my mental health, like my job, my friends, like my family and their health. And I'm so grateful for everything that I have, that it's hard to not be positive, because even when like something happens and it's not like a great day, it's like it doesn't take away from all the great things that are in my life, and I'm just very, very aware of that. So yeah, I would say like gratitude is one of the most important factors, I think, in playing a part in like my positivity, and I think that it feeds it, and like positive thinking in that way, and being grateful and aware of like the good parts of your life. Like, I always like, I feel like I've come back to this a lot in this video, but like focusing on the good actually, like, I feel like it like exaggerates it, or like, I don't know what the word is, like it's almost like it projects it even further, and I feel like this in so many different parts of life. If you focus on the good genuinely like does get better. Like, I don't think there's anything that can take away from like being grateful for your life. Advice for your 20-year-old self: stop overdoing it. Be aware of who's around at what points, and whether someone's only around when they need or want something. And on that same vein, pay attention to who's around during your highs but also during your lows. Stop apologizing all the time. Stop it. Have a little bit more belief in how capable you are. I feel like I just didn't think that I was capable enough to do anything by myself, and I actually was so more than capable. But that's about it really. Like, my 20-year-old self, she did pretty well, and I'm very proud of her. So I don't really have like too many things that I did that I shouldn't have done, or too many things that I would have done differently, but I think those are like a few things that I think really impacted like my self-esteem, and I think that's the only thing that could have been like cared for better. Keep seeing my ex-boyfriend, but I think he just wants to be friends. Help me. Don't be friends with your ex. I always just think like if that relationship didn't start out as being friends, then you weren't friends to begin with. I've had a situation like this, and I say it from the heart when I say just cut that off. I feel like there would be lots of people that would disagree and be like, I have stayed friends with my ex, blah 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 blah. I think quite often it's just best to like draw a line and move on and just go your separate ways, and that's great. Because often if they're in your life, it's not allowing you to move on, if you know what I mean. So they're always just like there, and I just think that's not healthy. I've been there. It was a no. What has been the best year of your life and why? I think about a year back, I would have said 2013 into 2014. I really enjoyed the first year that I like moved out. But actually now, so far, I would say it has been this year, but only this year so far, like the first half of 2019. December was alright as well, but like I would say pretty much like January to now has been my favourite. Last year was also good, but it was like really like that. So I think in the grand scheme of my life it won't be my favourite, but it was really, really great. But I like this year better because it's been more settled, and I feel like I am really getting a hold on things, and things feel really good and really solid, and I feel like I really know what I want now, and that feels really good. And on that note, I think I'm going to end this Q&A whilst I'm at this point. It's a nice point to be at. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this week Q&A. If you have any other questions, I'll probably like try and be in the comments for when this video goes live, so drop them down there. I hope you're all having a really fucking great day and you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you want more of this, and I will see you guys again very soon. Bye. These chairs actually hate me. I really need to actually get someone to take a look at them because this is a health and safety nightmare. Okay. Oh, sure. I feel like it's made me feel better filming this though, like I don't feel as snotty as I did when I started.